Yes, we are live. Hello, my name is Kara-Leah. This is Conversations with Kara-Leah. Today I'm on the couch with Jennie Jackson. Hi Jennie.
Hello.
So Jennie is the Adaptive Yogi, which means she is a yoga teacher who specifically works with all bodies, whether it's elderly people or larger bodies or people that have different kinds of physical limitations. That's Jennie, and she gets us from the inside out for a few different reasons, right? We'll go into those shortly. Thanks for coming on, Jennie.
Cool, thanks for having me.
So I met Jennie a year and a half ago now. Yeah, it was a year and a half ago.
Yep.
She came along to a one-day workshop that I was doing called How to Rock Your Yoga Teaching Career. And off the back of that one-day course, ended up signing up and doing my mentoring program, Ignite. And I was so thrilled when you signed up, because one of my big passions as a yoga teacher is that yoga becomes more inclusive. Mm-hmm. And so when I saw what you were doing, like that was your whole thing, was to make yoga more inclusive. I was just like, yes, I want to support this woman. I want to help her be amazing. So now here you are on my couch.
Awesome. And you have helped.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah.
So how, can you share, because I don't know if people can see, but you have this thing.
Lift my leg up.
Yeah, can you lift your leg up?
Show over the leg.
Yeah, so this brace, right?
Yeah,
what is the
device.
Brace? It's a device?
Yeah.
What's the device for?
It's a prosthetic device that I wear for a disability in my ankle that I was born with. Mm-hmm. I had severe club feet, so both my feet were sort of stuck up on my calves when I was born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I spent the first 5 years of my life sort of correcting that. So it was through plaster casting, so I didn't really walk properly. I was in plasters a lot of my life, of my early life. Mm-hmm. And the left foot came pretty well with that treatment, but my right leg, this one, had several surgeries.
Right.
So it was pretty good for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I
so
was
you spent
fixed.
a lot of time in hospital,
Yes.
like under the age of 5?
Yes.
So that was your norm?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 70s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so, yeah, but different to these days. And then I was pretty good. You know, I was never really normal, but I could do lots of things. I played sports, lots of running around, always hurt, and I was always sort of behind and never quite felt part of the gang type thing. I grew up with 3 siblings and I was always physically behind, but and in pain. But I did my best, and I think I did really well. I feel really grateful for the job the doctors did.
Yeah.
But as I got older and older, the surgery and just the way that ankle is deformed just started to really pack in.
Right.
So cutting a long story short, I was ready to amputate.
Whoa.
Because that's what a lot of clubbies do in their 30s and 40s.
Right.
They had enough.
A lot of clubbies.
That's what we call ourselves.
I like
Clubbies.
that.
We're clubbies, yeah. So a lot of them do that, and they find that they love that option and it improves their lives, but it's pretty drastic.
Yeah.
So
losing a limb.
Yeah, but I was at that point because my life was pretty restrictive. I couldn't really move much, and I was in constant pain and constant swelling. I could just get to my office job and back.
Because you're an accountant.
Yeah.
Pre-yoga teaching.
Pre-yoga, right? Yeah. So I was in my finance job and just sort of struggling, and then that really takes a toll on your mental health, and life sucked really.
So you were literally faced with that decision to amputate or not? Yeah,
I could have carried on. I could have had more surgery. I had a massive surgery about 4 years ago, and it just made things worse, not better. Yeah, so it was a big recovery, and then it's like it just deferred the pain. So that's when I started to look to search before the amputation. I think that led me into more of a, what can I do? Yeah. And I feel so lucky that I found this. Right. So I've still got my leg. Yeah. This is my leg. But it's pretty much works like a prosthetic. So a guy in the US Army developed it through seeing a lot of soldiers come back with legs that were pretty useless but not enough to amputate. So it's like, what can I make as a hybrid so they keep their legs but it works like a prosthetic. So my foot's cradled in a whole blade. You know how you see the blades? So it's a whole carbon fibre blade, and it just walks for me, and it's heaven.
So without that, is it possible to walk, or is it really challenging?
I can walk without it.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
I have a walking stick when I haven't got this on. I can get around the house. It's all about time as well.
Right, so it takes longer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes longer, but also the more I'm out of it, the more it accumulates.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So sort of 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day, it's okay around the house.
Yeah.
But if I do that more, then I need my stick and it gets sore and it's kind of a management thing.
Yeah.
So I found this on Facebook, so I'm loving Facebook.
Facebook works for things sometimes. You found the device.
A Clubbies
so
group.
None of your doctors recommended that? You found it through support group?
Yep, through a Clubbies support group.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. So everyone's on there, and then one girl posted that she tried it out, and so I then researched, talked to her. I was really nervous. I had to go to the States, so it was a big investment to get fitted to get it.
Yeah,
it was $12,000. So
wow, and no funding, of course, from
no, not at all. So we paid all out of pocket, and it was a big leap of faith.
And that $12,000, was that just for the device, not the flights, the accommodation?
So it was $20,000 all up, really.
Right.
Yeah. And then we took advantage of being there and went on a big trip to Alaska, and
awesome.
So it cost us way more than that, but that was our choice.
Right.
It was awesome. And I talked to people all around the world, and my orthopaedic surgeon in New Zealand said, I think you're being seduced by American marketing, but good luck to you.
Really?
Yeah. So
interesting. And did you go back and tell him 4 years later that it's been amazing?
Yep. I waltzed in when I got home and bounced in, and I was really disappointed in that process because I thought, he's going to get on board and promote this and give it to all his patients.
Yeah.
And he was interested. He took photos, and then he referred me to the artificial limb clinic, and that just fell through. I kept trying to push to get my appointment. It just never happened. They weren't that keen on following it up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So I've just done my best to promote it.
Yeah.
I built a website for Clubbies.
Wow.
So I got tired of writing the same story over and over and over. So I'm putting it all in one place. So that's JJS Bionic Leg. So I built that while I was travelling. So that's got all the info. So anyone asks about it, I just shoot them there. So
awesome. I'll put that in the description for this video.
And so it's not just for club feet. If anyone's watching, it's just the best thing for any lower limb issues.
Right.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of people there. Yeah. There's all sorts of people with different things. A lot of people had accidents. Mm-hmm. It was like a disabled Disneyland. It was the best place. Happiest place on earth, because we'd all hobble in. A week later, you're out. You could run it. I could run in this.
Wow.
Yeah, and the first walk in it down the runway at the clinic was so emotional. Yeah, it's like, is this what it feels like to walk? Not all my life I'd never felt freedom in walking.
God.
And I was just like,
wow.
It's on a cloud. Yeah.
So not just supportive, but actually feeling freedom because of the way the blade works.
Yeah.
Wow.
Walks like I'm just like a normal person. No pain and restriction and so super exciting.
Do you call yourself disabled? Do you identify with that, or
I pretty much I say disabled. I say I have a disability.
Yeah.
Rather than I am disabled.
I like it. Just identifying with it.
Yeah. So, and that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it drags me down. I'm quite proud of it.
Yeah.
More.
I don't think I even noticed that you had this.
No, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, for quite a while. I mean, I know a lot of the course we were doing online, but we were still seeing each other in person. I don't think it quite sunk in.
No, and I think a lot of people. 90% people think I've got an injury, and I'm wearing a brace or a moon boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's temporary.
Yeah, temporary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of don't notice, and then they see me again and they go, you still got that thing on. Like, I'm going to have it on for the rest of my life. What? I'm like, no, don't feel sorry for me. I am stoked with it.
Yeah.
So it's been life-changing.
Awesome.
Life-changing.
So when did you get into yoga?
So I've been practicing for probably 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Long time.
Like before
on
it
and
became
off.
cool.
Before it became cool. Yeah. Yeah, so on and off though. So I wouldn't say I've had a solid practice for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I started with Iyengar. So I've got a really solid background in alignment and poses.
Were they really supportive when you showed up in terms of using the props to help you get in and out of things?
Yeah.
Because I'd say of all the yoga styles to go to with some
props.
kind of disability,
Yeah.
Iyengar would probably have been the one back in the
Yeah,
day.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then over the years, as I changed and grew, I sort of didn't gravitate towards Iyengar's philosophy and didn't quite do it for me. So I found my way to ashram yoga in Auckland here. Yeah. And that's when I came back with this, and I just had a new lease on life because I'd wanted to. I actually did 6 months of Iyengar teacher training.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Wow, because their teacher training is
full.
It's like a 3-year commitment, isn't it?
Full on.
Yeah.
So I did 6 months, and then I got pregnant. So I had a sort of 10-year journey with that. So then that took me out of that. And yeah, I didn't really gravitate towards it afterwards. So I came back to Hatha Yoga with ashram. And when I came back from the States with this, after I got this.
Yeah. How did it feel doing the training? Were the teachers really supportive and helpful?
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah.
They were awesome. How do I articulate this? It's still something within the yoga circles that people don't quite know how to deal with, though.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. Does it make people uncomfortable?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially teachers, if I'm visiting and I go and say to them, I've got this, and don't worry about me, I can look after myself, and I can see them go, phew. What's going on there? I don't know what to do. Yeah. So it wasn't sort of specifically addressed, but over the years I've been so independent with that.
Yeah. So you've just figured out how to adapt all the different postures so that you can find a way into the posture.
Yeah. But they were really supportive when I rang up to say, look, I want to do teacher training, but there's a lot I can't do, and I've just got this brace. They were awesome and very welcoming, and come along, and you'll help teach the other teachers to see what they need to do. So I think that was useful in the training. Yeah, I hope. Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was, because that's the one thing I noticed in yoga studios is they're still fairly non-inclusive spaces.
Big time.
Yeah.
A big time.
Well, I mean, So what's that like for you? Because you probably are aware of that more than I am.
Yeah.
Because I kind of look like the norm walking in.
Yes.
Right? So I imagine for you, sometimes you find, what is it like?
Yeah. A lot of places just don't have chairs. Yeah. And it's really frustrating because they portray a message that we're yoga for everybody.
Yeah.
But they're upstairs. So that's wheelchair people out.
Yep.
Right? And I have wheelchair clients. They can't go to those places. So, and they tout yoga for everybody up the stairs. Not a chair in sight.
Right.
So for anyone that's having any issues with their legs, there's no support there. And then I think a lot of the teaching could do with some really basic training within yoga teacher training to adapt for different bodies. Yeah.
Like how to adapt for different bodies.
Yeah.
You know, I see you being the trainer that leaves those trainings down the line, just quietly on the side.
Quietly. It has seeded as an idea. And I've done specialised training in that online because there's nothing here. So I've done it in the States. So you actually learned how
to work with different bodies, because obviously you've had an experience from the inside.
I feel like I've got the embodied experience, but to have some official, I've done some courses through the States. Awesome. It's all there. It's awesome there.
Yeah.
So I'm involved in the accessible yoga community in the States, and they have conferences. So one of my dreams is to go to an American accessible yoga conference.
Yeah.
And they have trainings, and there's a guy in a wheelchair who is awesome, and I want to do his training soon. So I'm specialising my training in that area. Yeah.
But you teach regular classes, right? With any old person coming in, whether they've got whatever. Yeah. All kinds of bodies.
Yeah, and I sort of call them yoga for all classes, and they're pretty much the hatha yoga and the ashram style that I was trained, and I just adapt. There's always 2 or 3 versions for each pose. Yeah, which is quite busy for a teacher.
You've got to be next level skills, right?
You do, and I'm trying to get someone to come in my class in a few weeks, and I explain the class, and they're kind of like, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's it takes a lot of thought, and you've got to think of each person like it's not always legs.
Yep.
There's lots of shoulder issues going on, lots of arm things, fibromyalgia type things with older people especially. arthritis, or there's heaps. So these classes I've got designed so we have a chair, and then there's always an option to either use it or not, and each thing I do, pose or pattern of movement, is there's always an adaptation. So people feel included, welcome, and not like they have to do something different. I mean, for years in a yoga class I've done something different. I've been that different person in the room, so I'm okay with it. I'm over it, and I'm fine doing that, but a lot of people aren't in a normal class.
Because then it's like you're the odd one out.
Big time.
And no one wants to be the odd one out.
No.
Everybody wants to fit in and feel like they're a part of the whole.
The whole vibe. It's amazing how people really need that. I see that, and I know some people shouldn't be doing some things. And the amount of support and encouragement I give them not to.
I remember that teaching classes as well. Like, I would language in such a way and always offer variations, and trying to figure out how to lead people in such a way that they felt good and okay to take the variation. Because there's still this idea that it's better to do the apparently more advanced thing. It's like, nah. It doesn't matter.
No. Big time. And I often say, there's no gold stars for touching your toes.
I think I got that from you.
Oh, true.
Possibly, because I was saying that the other day when I was teaching. There's no gold stars.
I heard it recently. Was it in your class?
Was me.
Classic. Yes. I've said that for a while.
Okay. I definitely picked it up.
And think about the integrity of your body, your back, and no one can see you. And I always try and give, is a lot of languaging involved, a lot of inclusive languaging. That is quite a subtle change to the normal teaching style.
And yet all teaching could be naturally inclusive with that change of language. And my sense is that when we do that, when we change the language so it's more inclusive, that it actually becomes more effortlessly transmission of yoga. Because you're actually inviting people to be present with what is.
Absolutely.
And work with themselves rather than attain an imposed physical ideal.
Absolutely. That's my huge thing, because that's not yoga, right? And what full expression of the pose? What the fuck does that mean? You make it to the full expression of the pose. I'm a warrior. And, it doesn't matter if your arms are here. And the tree pose, the trees have low hanging branches. I remind people that not all trees have to have. I'm a steady tree. You can really adapt. And I saw a brilliant quote the other day on Facebook, and it said, "Just remember, someone made up yoga poses." I know they've been tried and tested, and they're a system, and they're there for a reason, but just remember that, and you can make up your own to get the same benefit of what it's trying to achieve. I think that's important. It's like there's an energetic imprint of every posture, and aligning to that energetic imprint. So a tree, we feel into the tree. It's not the physical, how it looks physically, but it's like, what does it feel like to be a tree? Because there is, like, a tree is rooted and it grows upward. But what that looks like in the body will depend so much on the body, which is being the tree. And light at the top. Flexible, steady at the bottom. That's what you try. That's what I try and teach, rather than looking like a
board. Oh, I like it. So another big aspect of what you do, like you said, you're the adaptive yogi, and a part of that adaptiveness is looking at body positivity. And working with people that have, what's the terminology? Like, is it larger bodies?
It's a tricky one. I'm still mulling that over. There's so many words you can use, and some offend some people, and some don't. You can go with fat yoga, you can go with curvy yoga, bigger body yoga, larger yoga, or on the other end of the scale, with people with body image issues that are in very thin bodies. There's all sorts. So what terminology? I'm still trying to settle with something there. And I've also, there's sort of two sides to this story, but I've also really realised in my travels, and especially when I was working in finance in a media company, the conversations in the kitchen were fascinating about body image.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I'm in a bigger, curvy body, and so those are my words that I use for myself. I always thought that was my problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I just sorted that out, then everything would be okay, as if it's a problem. Yeah.
And I wouldn't have that mental yuck that went on.
Yeah.
And I noticed everyone has that mental yuck.
Right, so when you're working in finance, you're going into the kitchen, you're listening to these conversations.
There were Women's Day people and all sorts of magazines. Oops, I shouldn't name them, but well, there was probably about 15 magazines in this company. And so it was a real cross-section.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not just that, I noticed my girlfriends, my sister, not cousins, all women in my life, and noticed that it's a massive issue.
Yeah, indoctrination.
Absolute from what we should look like.
Yeah.
And if you're not that.
Yeah.
So you're in
fear
a mental fuck up anyway.
Yeah.
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 So when you noticed that no matter what size people were, they seemed to be having the same mental conversation, the same issues, did that change something in you around it? Yeah,
it did. It really did. It started to, and through the practice of yoga, especially meditation and becoming aware and waking up to my thoughts, I started to really see how brainwashed we'd been.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I really started to see that, and then that began my journey of feeling into my own sense of self-worth from the inside out.
So not dependent on being a particular way.
No.
Yeah.
No. And the battle of, because I spent years of yo-yo dieting, trying to get my body in how I thought it should be. And
what you thought it should be?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that really stuffs with your set point, your natural body, where it naturally settles. And when you sort of do your dieting, you lose weight and then you gain more. And you lose weight and you gain more. So that's happened to me over 20 years.
Right.
And that's happened to a lot of people, and you're stuffed with your natural set point. So that's a whole big subject, but that's something I'm really passionate about stopping, helping people stop that cycle, and realising that, deep down they have this inherent worth.
Yeah, that's not dependent on something as arbitrary as what our bodies look like.
No. And so I feel not as much now, but I still shit myself every time I get up in front of a class and teach yoga. It's like, I sometimes go, what am I doing?
So the fear still comes up? Or
nowhere near as much.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as much, but especially if I'm tired or I'm not quite on my awake game and I'm in my story a bit more.
I like it. Not on the awake game today.
I'm a bit in my story. I'm not awake. I kind of get that sometimes. At first, it was really, really scary. Yeah.
So a sense of like you shouldn't be teaching because you don't look like.
Yeah, because I'm not this skinny, bendy, flexy.
Yeah.
And bless them, there's many beautiful teachers out there that are doing a great job.
Yeah.
But I feel like a real rebel. I've got this brace on my leg, I've got this nice big belly, chunky thighs and a big booty, and I'm strong in my poses. I can still do good physical yoga, but I'm very passionate about teaching the subtle, restorative, getting in touch with the inside yoga. Yeah.
And that's the juice.
It's the juice.
I reckon my sense of it is that teaching people physical postures, it's just an excuse to get people in the room that you can speak to for 90 minutes and they're not allowed to talk back.
Trapped. Got you in a yoga class.
Totally. And now I can disseminate my wisdom.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Transmission of beingness. So the more that you practice your yoga and come into your power and your strength.
Yeah.
When you're standing up there and just being Jennie, rocking it, Jennie from the block.
Jennie from the block.
What you're transmitting. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope to encourage, like I feel I've got this sort of vision in my head that I'm slowly encouraging people out of their darkness, out of their homes, thinking, you know, look, if she can do yoga, then so can I. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
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 I'm sort of realistic.
Yeah.
And I've gotten so much out of the tools of yoga. I'm wanting to share that with people. Yeah.
I bet any money there'll be someone who watches this who's never thought about going to yoga before because they're like, nope, that's not for me. And they'll see you and go, oh shit, maybe I can.
Yeah.
Maybe I can.
Well, that's my intention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and that's why I teach, because it's bloody scary. Look, I'm the girl that wags school at speech time. Seriously.
So you're facing your fears almost every time you
Big time.
show up and teach.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just, you know, in my mind I'm going, what are you doing? But deep down there's a driving force that's telling me to do this.
Yeah.
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 You know, fearlessness is one of the qualities to cultivate on the path of awakening.
Yeah.
I can't remember the Sanskrit name for it right now, but I was just reading one of my texts and it was talking about the quality of fearlessness. And my sense is it's not that we're fearless.
No.
It's the ability, though, to show up despite the fear.
Yeah. Embrace it.
Embrace it, face it, embrace it, face
do
it.
it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cliche, but feel the fear and do it anyway. Yeah.
Although I have noticed, because I've been practicing that for a while, that I do feel like I'm now moving into a fearlessness space.
Awesome.
Because I've faced down fear so many times.
So many times.
It's almost like, you come and fucking get me. You can't get me no more. I'm free, you.
I'll stalk you.
Yeah.
Totally. Hunt you down.
I'll hunt you down. So rumour has it that you are in the midst of creating a body positivity program or course. Is this true?
This is true.
Tell me about the program.
True. So it is being birthed, and it's been a slow boil for a long time. It's kind of how I work.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an 8-week course. Might even extend it to 10. Because I've got so much yumminess to deliver. So within the tools of yoga, I want to encourage people to step on the path. So it's going to be a journey towards body peace.
Oh.
Yeah.
Body peace.
Yeah.
You know, I like that even more than body positivity.
Me too.
Because as soon as you said it, I could feel it.
Nice.
And I like too how you're phrasing it as a journey toward.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's something that might start to come in incrementally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still working with that, and I think there's a lot of body positivity, there's a lot of positivity out there, which is great, but it seems quite unattainable. Like, love your body. Like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, to love your body seems really hard jump to get there.
Right.
So I'm trying to encourage, and this has been my journey, to come into a loving relationship with your body.
Oh. I like the distinction.
Yeah, it's a big difference, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like coming into loving relationship with your body.
Yeah. So I've even started, you know, what does she need today? You know, those curious questions.
Yeah.
Those sort of conversations in your head, really tuning in to your body's infinite wisdom, because it's there. It's so there, and I've learnt that through yoga, through working with, hanging out with, and being with my sister, who's awesome at all this sort of thing. Embodiment practices, and just getting into feeling at home there, and loving it and treating it in a loving way, like you would a child. Nourishing and nurturing.
Yes.
And that includes the thoughts.
So the way you're thinking about your body.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because thoughts transmit energy.
Yeah.
It's so important to like take control of that thinking mechanism of ours.
Yeah.
It ain't the boss of us. It ain't the boss of us. Oh, there is a message up there, Tony crying.
Oh.
Sending you love, Tony. Thank you for the comment.
Oh, that's my beautiful sister.
Oh.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a huge distinction, because I feel like a lot of people are still on that yo-yo thing and being super mean to themselves, but then they might have come off that, which I did quite a few years ago, and realise it doesn't work, realise it's wrong.
Guilt and punishment ain't the way forward.
But then I tried the body positivity. It just wasn't where I couldn't get there.
Yeah. And did that generate more feelings of
failure?
Yep.
It was just another diet.
Yeah.
It was another diet in my head that I'd failed on.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like it. You're a pioneer in this, you know that. So we're going beyond body positivity.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, journey to body peace.
Yeah, and well, that's how it's felt for me and what's worked for me. So I'm wanting to share that.
So have you got a launch date for this amazing program? Not yet. That's all right. You know this video is going to be around for a while. So, no.
But I'm hoping this year, because I'm converting my garage, so it's going to be a lovely, beautiful space of my own.
Excellent.
And that is nearly finished. The floor is being laid this weekend.
Excellent.
So pretty soon. Got it ready.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's an in-person course.
Yes. And only 8 people. It's going to be really intimate. Yeah.
So maybe you could take expressions of interest.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yes, good idea.
If you're interested in the body positivity course, which is actually a journey to body peace. Yes. Jennie lives on the North Shore of Auckland, so you need to be able to come in person to the North Shore of Auckland.
Birkenhead.
Just put a "I'm interested" comment on the bottom of this video, and Jennie will get in touch with you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an evening, either Wednesday, Thursday type thing, and it's going to be about 2.5 hours long. So we're going to do some really gentle, beautiful yoga and embodiment practices. A little bit of talking, sharing, journaling, and then finish with a bespoke, just for you, yoga nidra.
Awesome.
Because that's my other specialty, is delivering yoga nidra. So I'm mentoring with that at the moment. It's very, very powerful.
So you do bespoke yoga nidras?
Yeah, so when I say bespoke, it's going to be just for that topic, for that night, for those people. Yeah. And I'm working with a mentor in the States, a Swami that does a mentor program, and she's helping me develop the stories for each session, and it's going to be super special. That's
incredible, because yoga nidra is so powerful.
Very.
And it's so specific in terms of how it works through the different layers, psychologically and energetically.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it sounds like you're tuned in to the real deal.
Yes.
Yeah, in order to create one that's specific for body peace.
Yes.
That's got me thinking about. That means I could commission you to create me a bespoke yoga nidra.
Yep. You could.
Let's talk about that later. Now, last thing before we tie up, you also have a retreat coming up end of the year, right?
Yes.
And who are you doing this with? This is a woman from Australia?
Yes.
Who is she? She's
woman from Australia. She is awesome. Yeah. Yep. Sarah Harry from Body Positive Australia. So I did a retreat with her last year in Byron Bay. And Diane Bondi, who is pretty much famous in the yoga world, Body Positive Yoga for All. Yeah. And she came across from the States and went on that retreat, and I've never felt so like I'm going to cry. I've belonged in the yoga world. I've always been the odd one out, and I've pushed through the fear of that, and I've developed strength in that myself. But going on this retreat, we were all beautiful, juicy, big bodies, and so were the teachers. And it was just divine. We could all relate to each other. We all had, the same sort of challenges. And the specialised training I've done was with the woman from America, and it's learning how to do poses for the big tummies that get in the way.
Yeah, like lunge pose, right? Lunge
and forward folds, sitting down. Then boobs come in the face.
Yeah, you've got boobs on your side, right?
And it's not just for women though, it's for men too. But just learning how to adapt those poses, not just for disabilities, but also for body parts that get in the way. Yeah. Because yoga was designed by young, lithe Indian men.
Yeah, who were pretty damn flexible to start with because they squatted and sat on the ground all the time.
Yeah. So that's not this body. Yeah. So so Sarah then asked me on that retreat at the end of it, let's do one together in New Zealand. Yeah. So she's coming over. It's going to be at Mana, which is in the Coromandel, which is gorgeous. I
haven't been there. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Stunning. 5 days, and it will just be epic. There's nothing like it in New Zealand. So a place where you're completely welcomed, catered for. the yoga will be all about yoga for bigger bodies. There'll be lots of restorative yoga. Sarah's just awesome. She's also a trained, I'm not going to get the right terminology, psychiatrist or psychologist. Sorry, Sarah, if that's wrong, but she's really awesome in all the mental part of it as well, and a therapist, and she runs groups with all this sort of thing. So she's awesome.
And so would that retreat, 5-day retreat, would it be suitable for someone who hadn't done a lot of or any yoga?
Yes, absolutely.
So it'd be
Beginners.
a really good introduction for someone who's like, I'm too scared to go to my local yoga studio. I feel like I don't belong. I feel like I don't fit in. I'm going to go and immerse for 5 days and find my groove.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Figure out my body.
Feel like they belong. Figure out your body. Go through lots of different yummy embodiment practices, and being with that community of women is super powerful. I met some amazing women last year who I know I'm just going to be friends forever with. We just really clicked, understood each other. And practices designed just for you. And, I don't know if you see advertising for yoga retreats in Bali or...
Always skinny white women.
Big time.
In their 20s and 30s.
You Google yoga and the first 40 pages is skinny white woman. So it's sort of breaking the chain and making the amazing tools that yoga has available to everybody.
To all bodies. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm
super excited about that. It's going to be a really, really beautiful retreat.
And there's still space.
Yes, there's still a few spaces left.
Great. Finally, one last thing actually I want to ask. If someone owns a yoga studio or they're teaching yoga, if you were to say 1 or 2 things that they could start to do or think about in order to make their classes or their studio more inclusive, what would you suggest?
Well, chairs is a good physical start.
So having chairs available in the yoga room for people.
And something else I've been dreaming up, I'd suggest a training course for all their teachers.
So if you own a yoga studio and you would like Jennie to come in and give like a half day or a full day workshop for your teachers on how to be more inclusive for all different bodies, she's the woman to contact.
You're good at pushing me out of my comfort zone. I had this in my plan for about 5 years' time because I've got so many versions of sun salutations from when I've been incapacitated to fully physically able. So I've got this workshop where I teach that to teachers, with chairs, with props, with this, that.
Awesome.
And props is another thing. Props is huge for yoga studios. Not just to have them, but to encourage everybody to get them out so they all feel the same. And then who cares or who notices if you use a block or not. But if you have to walk across the whole class to go and get your block, it's so obvious. Oh, I can't.
And you're the only one who's got the block.
And you're the only one that's got the block. So to say to everyone, put your props on your mat, say everybody get these out.
So that's a really simple tip.
Simple,
I do remember when I used to teach, I'd always say that. I always say, I don't know what props we're going to be using today, so get this, this, and this just in case.
Awesome.
And then everyone would have everything. And whether I cued things or,
And they're just there for them to use, much easier. And then using the languaging of invite. Instead of, go into or whatever. They invite you to take both arms up now. Just simple little things like that.
Oh, you'll be so good on one of those trainings. Jennie, thank you so much for the way you show up and the courage that you've shown. And even though you've been scared and the fears come up, you keep showing up.
Thank you. I must say that you have been a massive help in that. My waking up, breaking through the fear process. Awesome. So thank you.
My pleasure. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Conversation with Kara-Leah. Coming up next week, I have Paul Cohen from Bone Yoga. He and I are going to be talking about, cool. Nice. I'm like, what is bone yoga? He and I are going to be talking about the gift economy and how to begin to operate a mixed model in your business so that you're starting to step out of capitalism and more into gift economy. So that will be next week on Conversations with Kara-Leah. Otherwise, I'll put all Jennie's details in the description so that you can look her up and connect with her.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jennie.
Thank you.